got a couple of questions that go into the same category. So the first one is tips and advice on lowering the gaze. The second one is, what's the problem with having friends that are of the opposite gender? If I keep my intentions pure, what's the big deal? And the third one is, what do you think of hijabis who wear tights? I don't know if you meant tight jeans or like tights, actual tights. But so anyway, just quickly inshallah ta'ala to summarize it. Number one, first and foremost, recognizing the problem in the first place. Recognizing the problem in the first place. What's the problem with having friends of the opposite gender if my intentions are pure? How many of you have ever seen the clip, Why Guys and Girls Can't Be Friends? Raise your hands. Tayyib. You need to watch it. I promise you it's not a sheikh. It's not going to be a guy with a big beard that's going to tell you why guys and girls can't be friends. It was actually an experiment on a college campus by a non-Muslim. So basically he asked the guy, it takes guys and girls and he asked them, he asked the guys, do you think you could ever, do you ever think about that person in a sexual way or things of that sort? And he asked the girls the same question, and so all of them said, no, of course we can be friends and we don't think that way. Then whenever he had the guys alone, he asked them the same question, do you think guys and girls could be friends? He's like, nah. All of them said no. And all the girls were like, yeah, of course. Then he asked the girls, he said, well, do you think that if you opened yourself up to a relationship with him that he'd be willing to engage in a relationship with you? They were like, oh yeah, of course. And so the point was, the end of the experiment was, guys and girls can't be friends, of course, in that regard. The point is, and I'm not an advocate for, I think that, subhanAllah, Shaykh Salman al-Auda once said something very powerful. He said, if you close the doors to that which is permissible, people will break the doors. People will break them and people will transgress. There was communication and interaction between genders at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, but it was respectful, it was limited to what was necessary, it was not, subhanAllah, we teach split personality, seriously. It's like the sister comes to the masjid, she's an alien, right? But whenever she's outside, mashallah, she's fair game. That's hypocrisy. We should learn to be consistent. In essence, the Rasulullah, we were forbidden from khalwa. We were forbidden from being alone with one another. We were forbidden from being flirtatious and promiscuous, from exposing anything from the hijab. Guys and girls, guys, you got a hijab too. I'm just letting you know, you also have to observe certain limits, so don't think you can post whatever pictures you want to post too. Okay? Khalwa, being alone, cyber khalwa. Alright, G-chat and Facebook chat with all the smiley faces and things of that sort, and I think you looked really good in your jersey today, and whatever it was, all of that is not allowed either. Now, why is it? What if my intentions are pure? And this is something I really want to address. From the maqasid of sharia, from the objectives of divine legislation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses norms. Allah does not address exceptions. The sharia is based upon norms, not on exceptions. If you feel like you can be with, guys, you feel like you can be with a girl and she's just my cousin, she's my really good friend, I don't ever feel that way towards her, you are not the norm, you are the exception. The legislation will not be based on the exceptions, it will be based on the norms. Just a month ago, I had a sister that took one of my classes that told me that she was with her male cousin, alone in the car. He used to drop her off to school every day for 2 years, and all of a sudden he groped her. They're both masjid goers. She didn't know how to deal with it. She said, I never expected it. I never thought of him that way, but obviously he was thinking of me that way. And that's the first thing that's wrong with this question. My intentions were pure. How can you know the intentions of the other person? You cannot know the intentions. And let me just tell you something, sisters, guys play a lot of games. No offense, man. Brothers, just cover your ears. We are not who you think we are sometimes. Okay? As long as a man is still biologically a man, he still is attracted to a woman. Okay? Unless he's undergone some procedure or something like that, he's still a man, he still likes women, he still likes sisters. Okay? So Allah addresses the norms, not the exceptions. Maybe you can control yourself, but not everyone can. What do you think of hijabis who wear tights? Number one, if a sister, so this is for the people that pound on women constantly and consistently, don't allow sisters to progress. Instead, they do exactly the opposite of what the Prophet ﷺ said. The Prophet ﷺ said, "La tu'inu shaytanu alayh." Don't support a person's shaitan against them. If a person is wearing hijab that is not complete, that does not mean that you can say that they are not wearing hijab. That means they're wearing hijab, but there is a flaw in their hijab. You cannot say that it's as if you're not wearing hijab, you are not muhajjaba. Okay, that's not appropriate to attack people to that extent, to beat them down. On the other hand, there is a hijab from the we know what the bounds of hijab are. We know what the Prophet ﷺ has legislated as hijab. We're not talking about a difference of opinion of covering the face or covering the hands or covering the feet here. What we know is that it represents modesty. It represents modesty. So it should be loose clothing that does not show the figure of the body. At the same time, it should not draw more attraction. Some hijabs actually are a tease. They're more of a tease than they are a covering. Don't do something that would contradict the purpose of the hijab. So wear hijab to fulfill its purpose, inshallah. And at the same time, progress. It's not always all in, all out. It's not always all in, all out. You know, sometimes I'll see a sister who will wear, short shorts, or a skirt. And she's saying, one day I want to be a hijabi. It's like, aspire by getting closer, inshallah ta'ala. Start wearing long skirts, start wearing baggy pants, loose pants, start wearing long sleeve and things of that sort. But certainly, so the extremities that we have here, and I apologize, Shaykh, I'm taking way too much time. The extremities that we have here is we have one group of people that's acting as if the hijab does not exist. Then you have another group of people that's judgmental against non-hijabis. And those are extremities. It's in the middle there. Yes, Allah will look at our insides, but these are manifestations of what is on the inside. These are mandatory actions, okay? So we have to try to act according to the command of Allah, but we've all got our own issues. Let's try to help our sisters, encourage them. One of the greatest things, my mother-in-law, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless her, what she used to do, they used to actually have parties for every sister that started to wear hijab, to encourage them. It's not a bid'ah, it's okay. No one is saying that it's the sunnah to throw a big party. No, but just encourage each other. Ta'awanu ala al-birri wa taqwa. Help each other in obedience and consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't beat each other down and make them feel like garbage. Help each other to get there. But don't blur the standard at the same time.
Thank you. And it's okay because as you have a long answer, it gives him more time to read through his answers. And now he's going to give you time to read through your questions, inshallah.
That was beautiful. On both sides, mashallah, very gracious. So I have a number of questions here, basically kind of very similar to what Shaykh Omar just talked about. So how does one behave towards their fiancé who is not yet in nikah? What is their advice to a brother or sister who are being tempted with getting involved in an un-Islamic relationship because they cannot get married due to financial reasons or parents won't allow them? How should a woman refuse to shake hands with it? We'll get to that one. What is your point of view on arranged marriages? So we have a few relationship questions. So let's set it off. Let's start by talking about, sorry about that, how one should behave towards your fiancé. You should treat her like she's not mahram. That's it. There's no pre-kind of mahram, post almost mahram now bow. This is not there. And that's actually from the khutawat of shaitan. And Allah says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطَوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Allah says, be careful of, and here khutawat, as Ibn Malik said, وَمَا بِتَا وَعَارِفٍ قَدْ جُمِعَ يُكْسَرُ فَالْجَرِّ وَفِي نَصْبِهِ كَمَا. This is a plural, so khutawat means that shaitan has a number of footprints that you could follow. Steps, darajat. So number one, until you actually sign the marriage contract, you are to observe the same type of etiquettes that you would with any strange male or female. Except that you have been given permission to talk by your wali, or by your guardian, your parents, or an imam, because you have the intention for marriage. Now in the Quran, it's very clear. In Surah Al-Qasas, we have the story of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, who they said, Abuna Shaykhun Kabir, our father is an old man, can you please help us with the water? And he helped them. So the scholars of fiqh said that if there's a legitimate need, haja, not durura, for a male and a female who are eligible to be married, to work with each other, whether it be da'wah, whether it's at the workplace, whether it's at school, as long as it meets the requirements that Shaykh mentioned, that there's no khalwa, that you're not alone together, right? Then that's allowed. That's allowed.